Welcome to another edition of Mike and Scott's BS Session, home of the latest news in the bass fishing industry. So pull up a chair and get ready. This is not your mama's fishing show. Okay, enough of the blah, blah, blah. Here's Mike and Scott.
Here we go.
Yes, another week, another day.
This is Mike and half of Scott tonight. Scott is a little bit under the weather tonight, but he's here. He's with us. He's amongst us.
I'm alive for now.
He is alive, and
I might sound a little nasally, you know.
Just a little. You're just a little nasal.
I'm already nasally enough as it is. Now it's going to be amplified.
Well, it's better than anal.
I would imagine so. When your anal is blocked, you got a problem. You know?
There you go.
That was the all-time dirtiest intro we've ever done.
It was. Block nose, get a cold. But hey, we're here tonight, and it's a great night outside. It's beautiful weather here. A little bit cool, but
a little bit cool.
Beautiful weather, and things are starting to heat up on the fishing scene.
Well, this is what it's all about tonight, right? We're going to find out with the change of season, the change in weather, what is going down on our favorite body of water.
Oh, yes. It is our favorite body of water. And good friend, our guest tonight is good friend Dale D. Brown, author of Bass Fishing 101, Lake Champlain, Techniques and Patterns for Fishing Lake Champlain, a complete guide to where and how to fish for the pro or the amateur. And when he says pro, believe me, he is talking, this is the real deal. Everybody looks up Dale and tries to get some information off of what's going on that lake, because he essentially lives on it for their tournaments.
For the last 30 years, he's been fishing Lake Champlain.
Yeah, if he doesn't know it now, he'll never know it, right?
Exactly.
No, for sure. Who's tonight's show brought to us by, Scotty?
Tonight's show is brought to us by a Rod Glove. Sorry. Let's go with Power Poles first.
All right, we'll do Power Poles first. You could have completed the Rod Glove.
I don't know. I'm just like, you know.
You're so screwed up tonight.
Exactly. With the stuffy.
I think you're on narcotics. Are you under the influence of narcotics?
I just took them now. I'm not under the influence yet. I just swallowed the pills.
So you are under the influence.
I just took them now, though.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to blame it on that. I'd like to blame it on something.
That's something.
So tonight's show is brought to you by Power Pole, a shallow water anchor. Sport fishing requires the ability to stop your boat and work an area quickly and quietly and efficiently. So you can put more fish in a boat.
Oh, that sounds like a good plan.
These things deploy very fast.
Yes, they do.
The blades are some of the quickest deployments on the market right now.
Yes, they are.
They lock you in place.
That I can witness to.
They don't splash when they go into the water. That's what I found is the difference between the Pro Series and the blades.
Oh, really?
In the design, yeah.
There's no splash.
Less of a splash.
Or less of a splash.
Yeah, because they hit the water.
Well, I'll have you know, good friend and webmaster and
Loic
got his Power Poles this week.
Yeah, he must be a happy camper.
Oh, he was. He was like Christmas.
Did he replace his wife with the Power Poles in his bed?
Well, it's funny. He told his wife that who walked in the room and he was dancing around the poles.
That's not a sight I want to see.
No, that's right. So the wife was sort of a bit leery about Loic dancing around the poles.
Dancing around two poles.
Two poles. So, needless to say, he was a little bit excited and happy to receive. Oh, Bear's brought me a bone. Isn't that nice?
Look
it's a rawhead bone.
It is.
Yeah, very. What a boy, Bear. Not a boy. So yeah, he's very happy to receive him this year and he this week, and he's also, I think he's ordered up a set of the paddles. You know, the drift paddles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he's ordered up a set of drift paddles.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
There's not a lot of guys with them.
No, he's going to try them out and give them a shot this year and see if we put more fish in the boat, right?
Yeah, well, we'll see.
There you go. Who else we got going?
Well, we got the Rod Glove. Last week's primary sponsor has moved down to second place this week.
Okay.
The Rod Glove, the proud sponsor of Fishing Canada and Scott's BS Session.
For sure. I just put in my order this week for Rod Gloves.
Did you really?
Yeah, I called them up. I said I need some more. I ordered some more. Some of the Pro Series, the neoprene ones.
Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah, they are
really those.
Sweet.
They are sweet.
So we all know what the Rod Glove does for us.
Yes, we do. It protects all that money, but as far as we're concerned, $50, right? Everything's $50.
Yeah, well, with the Rod Glove,
you're
actually not going to be lying because everything that they sell is pretty much under $50.
It's way under $50.
Way
For $50 on the Rod Glove, you can protect 5 rods.
Exactly.
There you go. So tell the wife everything's $50. You're not lying.
Exactly.
There you go. Scotty's under the influence of narcotics. Anything going here forward in the show, I am not responsible for.
We need that disclaimer at the beginning.
Yes, we do.
Show.
Yes, we do at the beginning of every. We are under the influence of alcohol. We are not responsible for anything we say.
Today is the under the influence of drugs.
There you go. Narcotics is the way to go. That
over the counter drugs.
Well, of course. You know? That's what we call them.
So a few tidbits out there.
Yeah.
Well, it's time to start preparing for your schedule. Preparing your schedules for the upcoming fishing season.
Yes, it is.
You can check out fishingcanada.net for the ripples.
Yep.
Basscat is in the midst of hosting their own invitational right now.
Woo! Where is that going to be held, you know?
Well, that's what I wanted to pull up before, but I kind of, we have...
The narcotics in the way?
Yeah, I'm two steps behind and
okay.
One step below.
Hey, I'm just looking on Facebook. There's a Rickards Blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't taste it right now. It would be
you're not tasting much right now. Yeah.
There's somewhere around 300 boats in that tournament.
What?
It's not.
Where is it? Lake Superior or the Atlantic Ocean? Right? Look at Bear. Bear's in on the show now. Here, I'm gonna take the microphone, put it near Bear. Here you go, Bear.
Yeah, you're gonna hear him his panting.
Yeah, let's see. Here.
Watch it. He's gonna lick the mic.
Here you go.
There you go.
What do you think?
No.
Huh?
He's gonna eat it.
There you go. And Bear approves the mic.
Eat it.
He approves the mic. So there's like 300 boats there?
Yeah, something like that. Crazy.
That's nuts. That is nuts.
Sam Rainbird.
Sam Rayburn.
I can't even say that properly.
Holy God, that's like southern states.
Well, that's Texas.
Yeah, it's Texas.
Well, that's where
the invitation is?
Yeah.
Well, are they paying the airfare or the gas?
That's why I'm not at the invitation. It can't get much further from us.
No, it couldn't, really, unless it's off the continent, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God, what are you going to do?
Almost have to go through two borders to get there.
You do. You almost have to go through two borders. That's nuts.
Yeah.
I think,
it's way out there.
If Basscat really liked their customers and wanted to show
they do.
Customer loyalty, they would pay to get all their customers here. What do you think?
They do. Yeah, right. Basscat would be broke.
Yeah, I think so. It won't be in business long,
You'd have 500 contestants.
Yeah, and no boats.
Yeah.
There you go. A bunch of T-shirts and hats.
Yeah. So,
that's cool.
It looks like it's a fun event.
That's cool.
One day I'd really like to fish it.
Yeah, one day we go fish a lot of things.
Well, they're saying here, excuse me.
Is something boiling over there?
Yeah, water.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm going to jump in the boiling water pot.
In the kettle, right?
In the kettle.
All right.
So, they're saying between 500 and 700 boats are showing up.
It's a low show up this year?
Yeah, it's just going to be a terrible turnout.
Yeah, 500 and 700 boats.
Can you imagine the logistics?
I don't even want to think about it.
Like, let's just ballpark at 500 to 700.
Yeah. But they must have like multiple starting spots, right, and all that stuff.
I have no idea how they could possibly do a takeoff in the morning. Oh, your boat number 700, and it's 3:30.
No, it must be like multiple launch spots and all kinds of things.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
but
it must be it.
That's pretty crazy.
That must be it. Another tidbit. I'm going to bring it up here in the email. Where is she? Where is my girl, Rachel Chouinard?
Yes.
Where is it? Here it is. Scotty, check it out. The Platinum Plus is now available. All
right, send them over.
Yeah, get what you deserve. Upgrade for unparalleled mapping and innovative features to enhance your boating this year.
I'll take two.
And enjoy the satellite overlay 3D view, port photos, and community edits. It is here, people. It is here. Go look.
It is not here. It's unavailable.
It's not available. The new high-def bathymetry map layer is now available with Platinum Plus products in many regions. Check availability with your dealer at info@navionics.it. Wow.
Yeah.
Sick. Look, you guys got to look up Navionics on Facebook. They're on there.
Well, they got to get to Mike and Scott's BS session and like that page because we're somewhere.
They're there.
Well, we need more. Just a few more.
Yeah, just a few more. We're going to give away the phone app.
We're going to give it away.
We're going to give away the phone app. So the Platinum Plus is here. All you guys that have been waiting for it, it is here. So look at the dealers. Get ready. This is the bomb. The bomb of chips. You've got to get your hands on these things. That's for sure. That is for sure. Great news out of the Navionics team.
Correct.
And of course, good friend, good buddy, Rochelle Chouinard.
So that's what's going on. Also, Econo Bass has, I believe they've closed the field now.
Yeah, they closed it. 67 boats.
67 boats. So it's over 65 teams this year.
This is true.
It's a full capacity.
Yeah.
And they're raring to go.
We've been invited to do a show from their initial their initial kickoff tournament. So we're going to look at our schedule.
We'll have to try and schedule that.
Yeah, we got to look at the schedule and see if we're available.
That picture looks familiar.
What, this one?
Yeah, you know how many times I cover the couches before I leave?
With furniture?
Well, yeah, I take I pile up furniture on top of my couches.
And he still gets on it.
Well, evidently, that's how they do it. That picture shows how he figured it out.
Yeah, he does.
He looks mighty comfortable there, too.
That's right. If anybody's wondering what we're looking at, there's a dog on Facebook. This guy's piled a whole bunch of furniture on his couch so the dog doesn't get on it, and the dog has taken the shape of the furniture to go to sleep on the couch. Yeah, and it says here in a little caption, "Your silly furniture blockade can't stop me, human." So the dog's sleeping on the couch. So that's pretty funny.
Yeah. Another tidbit of information here.
Yes.
Fish and Tech is now an authorized service center and warranty center for Bascam boats in Quebec.
Yes, it is.
We mentioned that. We made that announcement last week.
Yeah, it sounds like a broken record.
It does.
Yeah.
But it's important that people know that.
Okay, so next week we'll be telling them again about it?
Sure we will.
We'll just keep going and
going.
So
congratulations to Gary Gosser.
Very good. Very well done, Gary.
And the crew.
Yep. For sure.
You know he's going to do good work for you. That's for sure.
No, he definitely will. Definitely will. Good sponsor.
And okay.
Have you got your license for New York or Vermont yet?
No.
I haven't even got my Quebec license.
I bought my Quebec license.
I got to go to, I think, tomorrow. Or try tomorrow and pick it up.
I bought it last week or so, or 2 weeks ago.
I'm not in a rush to get it, though, because typically we're not on Quebec. We're on Champlain before we're on Quebec.
Yeah, well,
right?
we're not going to be really fishing in Quebec until May. April. April, when's trout opening?
April? No, April, it's not this month.
Yeah.
Is it this month?
Yeah, trout opening, Massawippi.
We'll go to Massawippi this month?
I believe so. Anyway, the word gets out. We're supposed to be providers of information. We don't even know when trout opening is.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
Well, all we know is we go fishing for lake trout.
We go when the buzz starts happening. When people start talking.
That's right. Then we go.
The problem we're having out there is that Memphis Magog is still on ice.
Yes.
I don't know if guys are still ice fishing or not. But I know there's a whack of ice still out there on the lake.
There is. There is very, very thick ice.
It's not likely to be ready for trout opening
anytime soon.
Unless the weather really does a 180 and starts to get much warmer.
Well, you never know. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, they have. They have, for sure.
And yes, I just got a message from Luke on Facebook, and can you buy the Quebec license online? May we?
Oh, you can?
Yeah, as far as I know.
I never knew.
Yeah, as far as I know, you can buy it online.
I didn't know we were that advanced here in Quebec.
No, you can buy it online. I'm pretty sure you can buy it online. Yeah.
Well, I bought it up, and I went to sale. And
I go to sale too and buy it. But I know it's available online. They let you buy it online. If you can't, Luke, call and complain to the Quebec government in French.
That's right. That's the only way to do it.
That's the only way to do it. But I'm pretty sure you can. You should be all right there, Luke. Yeah, he would be buying as a non-resident, so yeah.
Something I wanted to talk about tonight, there's a few things going on. There's a tournament meeting on Sunday for the Big Bass Challenge.
Le challenge? Le
challenge, le gros bass.
Are you boiling the kettle just to humidify the house?
I'm trying to melt it down.
The kettle is boiling. So, where is he? I'm just going through his show notes. Oh, yes, the Big Bass Challenge. Actually, the Big Bass Challenge is running out of the east end of Montreal on the St. Lawrence River this year. And first prize, there's one prize.
Well, this year, first year.
Yeah, it's first year. It's one prize, no pay down. It's one prize, biggest fish, one fish, $5,000. All right?
I heard also the rules. I guess that's why they're having a tournament meeting.
Yeah, they got to explain the rules.
Yeah. They
want to have a tournament meeting and explain the rules. So it's a one fish, one winner, $200 per team. All right, and there's a $5,000 guarantee for the winner of that big fish. All right, and You were saying there's an hourly weigh-in, Scotty?
Well, that's what I was getting at. Hold on, I'm medicating myself a little bit more here.
More narcotics?
More narcotics. Bring it on.
Bring on the narcotics.
So I can't feel nothing anymore.
That's it.
What were we talking about?
You were talking about the hourly
big,
weigh-in at
right.
the Big Back Salon.
So the hourly weigh-in is just rumors.
Oh, just rumors.
Actually, I talked to
Andre
a little bit at the Pro Bass meeting last week.
Right.
And
you're not even in that tournament, eh? Neither am I.
I'm supposed to be registered for it.
But you're not on the list.
I know I'm not on the list, but I'm apparently I'm fishing it with Ben Wu.
Oh, okay.
And
Ben's name's not even on the list.
No.
You guys.
So somebody's slacking over here.
Yeah.
I'm not taking the blame. I'm not taking the heat for this one.
No?
No.
Okay.
No. So I talked to Andre Laforce and Richard Labonte.
Right.
These are the two gentlemen that put this tournament together.
Okay.
And they were talking about an hourly weigh-in and this and that. And I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work, but apparently you can weigh one fish every hour.
All right.
Yeah. If you win, you're out.
What do you mean if you win, you're out?
If you win, you can't compete in the next hour.
But what do you win?
I'm not quite sure yet.
It doesn't sound like you know what's going on.
I haven't got a clue.
There you go. Okay, so let's just forget about what Scotty just said.
No, but
because it made absolutely no sense.
No, what they're saying is there's an hourly prize. So every hour there's a big fish that's weighed.
If you win the first hour, you can't win the second hour?
Apparently not.
Well, why not? You're going back and you're on even playing field with everybody else.
I understand, but they don't want one guy to win it all.
Well,
Let's say you've got a 7-pound bite.
Right.
You're catching 7-pounders. Bang, 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 bang.
Well, you know something? Anybody who's going bing, bing, bing on 7-pounders deserves to win every hour.
You and I know that.
All right.
Apparently they're trying to make it fair for everybody.
So you're going to some ruling meeting?
Yeah, if I feel better.
Yeah, okay. When's that?
That's Sunday.
Oh, shoot.
I got to check my emails.
But it doesn't make sense if you win, you're out. No one's going to come into the weigh-in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, I'm not coming in. I'm going to be booted out.
Yeah, only if you win.
Yeah. I'm not coming. I'm not taking a chance. I want the $5,000.
Well, yeah. Well, the $5,000 is for the overall heaviest bass.
Yeah, but how are you going to know that if you're booted out to the next hour?
Well, yeah, you have to weigh in at least one bass at 1 hour.
If you
and you're not allowed to have more than 2 fish in your live wells at all times.
Oh, that's okay. It's only a 1-fish tournament.
Right.
Right? To me, you should only have 1 fish in your live well.
Yeah.
Why are you going to have 2?
I don't know yet.
Just give me the heaviest fish.
We'll get back to everybody about this.
But,
next
you know something? The challenge is, for some people, is going to be to have any fish in a live well, right? It's going to be that's a tough area to fish.
It is. Well, I think it definitely will be tough.
It's going to be tough. When is this tournament?
It's what the heck?
What the
heck?
Okay.
We got to go to their Facebook page.
For what?
It'll tell you. It'll tell us when it's.
Okay. Well, stay on your notes. Stay on your notes. What time is our guest calling in?
7:45.
7:45.
Oh, we're 7:48.
Yeah. Let me just take a look. And we have somebody.
Well, you got the switchboard.
Who has just dialed in. So we're going to drop this tournament thing.
Yeah.
And, oh, God.
Did you just hang up on him?
No, I think I just...
No. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Hey, Mike.
How are you doing, Dale?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Atta boy, have you thawed out?
Have I what?
Have you thawed out?
I was listening to your conversation about this tournament.
Yeah.
And Mike said that he didn't think Scott knew what he was talking about. Well, what's so unusual about that?
Yeah.
So you remember Scott well, Dale.
we have those tournaments down this way pretty often.
You do, eh?
And the way it works is you come in at the first hour, you weigh your fish. If you win, you're out of the tournament at that point, so that you can't win every minute. then everybody else has a shot at each and every minute. Each guy gets knocked out. And then the heaviest fish overall of all the fish that won, that guy gets the big prize.
Right.
Oh.
I was on the right track.
You know, I thank God for Dale for calling in
and
explaining to you what the rules are for the tournament you're fishing.
Apparently,
yeah.
You needed a little help.
Yeah. Thank God for Dale. Thank God.
There you go.
Yeah. No. So have you had a good winter, Dale? It hasn't been too tough on you?
Yeah, weather-wise, of course, it's been a fine winter, and I've had a good winter. I hung out around the house here and wrote a book or two and things like that, and it was a very nice winter for us. It was very cozy.
Wow, that's
great.
That's good. How is I fly over that lake a lot towards Hartford and that, and I don't see any ice on it right now. Is the ice all gone on Lake Champlain right now as we speak?
The inland sea still has some ice on it, but it's pretty rotten. You wouldn't want to be out on it.
Okay.
The rest of the lake, the Broads never did freeze all winter long. Just the southern end and the extreme north end, the Rouse's Point, around the islands, that froze.
Okay.
And the inland sea froze over, but the inland sea is the only place that there's still ice left.
Wow. Okay. So you figure, another 2 or 3 weeks and everything's wide open?
Oh, probably another 2 or 3 days.
Oh, really? Well, that's good to hear.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Well, Dale, listen, we've talked to our listeners often about you. You're sort of an icon on our show, and especially regarding Lake Champlain. And when we have interviews with other guys and pros on here, they always reference you when it comes to Lake Champlain and your knowledge of Lake Champlain. So we're going to get right into the meat and potatoes, as they say, tonight, and start talking about Lake Champlain and sort of tap into your expertise. For everybody who's listening, Dale is the author of a book called Bass Fishing 101, Lake Champlain.
Yep.
Techniques and Patterns for Fishing Lake Champlain, a complete guide to where and how for the pro or amateur. And so, Dale, Scotty, let's get into the questions for Dale.
Sure.
We can start picking this guy's brain.
So,
okay.
When we're thinking about heading out to Lake Champlain this early in the year, what are some of the things that you want to do or prepare for an outing?
Well, you better bring some warm clothes, because you guys are inland. Actually, you're north of here, but you're inland, and it may be 60 degrees when you leave. But when you get down here, you launch your boat, and the water's 45 degrees at best. It's probably going to be more in the 43s.
Okay.
And the air moving across that water is going to be 43 degrees. It's not going to be the 60 that you just left on the shore. So you better be dressed for the water temperatures and so forth. And you better have checked your, all your equipment out, because your boat's been sitting around all winter. And especially the batteries, because they've been sitting all winter. And if you didn't disconnect, when you put your boat in the storage, you just have to take one cable off of each battery.
Right.
And then the batteries will make it through the winter. But if you didn't do that, those batteries drained down in that first couple of days, and they were sitting dormant all winter. And they may not want to charge back up, and you'll get out on the lake and hit the trolling motor and have nothing.
Yeah.
And
not what you want to happen.
No. So when it comes to fishing the lake at this time of the year, Dale, like you said, the water's cold. What type of gear do you start to get ready to get out there the first few times on that lake?
Well, the first thing I think about is the fact that the line has been on those spools all winter, so you better take off all that line and put new line on. And then you better most of the lures this time of year are small, jigs, imitation minnows. If you could slow roll a spinner bait. Everything has to be done nice and slow and easy.
Right.
And usually what we're fishing for this time of year is, fortunately, the fish on Lake Champlain are used to being in this climate. They've been here for centuries. And even the largemouth will bite on the very first day.
Wow.
And, of course, the smallmouth will if you hit the right spots, and that's the real trick, isn't it? Finding the right spots. Where did a fish actually congregate this time of year?
Interesting. Very interesting. So you're saying the smaller baits and the minnow baits are the ones to start spooling up and get that new line out there and get ready for spring on Lake Champlain.
Well, which ties us into the next question, which is, what type of terrain, like what are we targeting when it comes to largemouth or smallmouth bass?
Well, the first thing I do is the one piece of equipment on your boat that is important this time of year is the temperature sensor. It'll tell you more about what's going on than anything. And then the second thing you're going to use is your depth finders, your fish finders. But the temperatures, you're immediately looking for a warmer temperature. When I talk about a warmer temperature this time of year, that could be 2 degrees difference. And you usually find that if you get into an area that's rocky, that has rocks, and the sun can penetrate to the rocks, which means they aren't that deep, those rocks are going to warm up and hold heat overnight, which means the next day they're already warmer than the water is when the sun comes out again. Mm-hmm. And the fish very often will be laying right in the rocks, right against the rock, because remember, they have no temperature of their own. Their temperature comes from their environment, the water temperature, or if they can lay against a rock, their body temperature could pick up an extra degree or two off of that rock, and then that makes them a little bit more active than the other fish, and that's the whole trick, is I want to be in better shape to catch that bait and beat the other guy to the bait.
Right. That makes sense. It definitely makes sense. So you're looking for types of structures such as rocks or maybe wood pylons and things like that that'll hold some heat. And,
something that's either rocks that are underwater or like the bridge embutments, the concrete bridge embutments. They always have fish. They always have fish, and the fish are tight to them. You take the lure, you throw it right against the embutment, the pier, and then you just let it float down to the bottom. You twitch it a couple of times. Don't drag it away. Just twitch it a few times and see if the fish is right there nearby. Because they aren't going to travel very far to pick up anything.
Okay.
So they're still a little lethargic after the deep winter.
After the winter, yeah. So that being said, Dale, now you've given us some. We've got some structure to look for. We've got temperature we're going to pay attention to. So now, I guess the big question is, what are you going to throw at them? Are you going to be fishing jigs? Are you going to be fishing spinner baits? Are you going to be throwing swim baits? Are you going to be throwing, swim baits? What's your favorite way to fish in the spring?
I usually start off this time of year. I will tie on a small imitation minnow, and I'm talking about the 1.5 to 2 inch minnows. Kitech makes one. Lunker City makes a really, 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 really good one. It's called a swimming jig, and it looks like a little minnow, and it comes in Arkansas minnow is the color, and it's kind of a brown on the back and has a white kind of a white belly. Right. And I'll tell you, it's a killer this time of year. You put it on a regular. I usually put it on a 1/4 ounce, 1/8 ounce is better. 1/8 ounce jig head with the hook exposed. Put that thing on, throw it out there, get it down on the bottom, and just kind of move it around nice and easy, and jig it and work it back to the boat. And that, especially if you can get on any of the rock flats, you'll see the rock formations along the shoreline, and those rock formations go out underwater. You work that little minnow all the way out there. The other great colored and lure that I like here is a tube bait in what's called root beer. I think the number is 077.
It's actually my favorite colors.
Yeah, root beer.
Yeah, and it especially this time of year, the crayfish during the winter turn brown and tan, and then come spring they lose that shell, and for a little short period of time they're white and then they start to get green, and then they get the little bit of pink coloring to them because when they're ready to spawn, and then they spend most of the summer in green. So coming out of winter, it's that tan color that the fish are used to seeing in crayfish, and that's what the tube is representing. Once again, put it on 1/8 ounce, 1/4 ounce head on it, and throw it out there. You can rig it up, weedless, whatever you like. Put it on a Carolina rig and throw it out there and drag it around on the bottom, and drag it slow.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the key things, key elements to a successful day on the water, regardless of the bait selection, is to really slow it down.
Slow it down. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Small and slow.
Yeah.
And I catch a lot of fish with a Senko this time of year too, by wacky rigging it. No weight whatsoever. Just I usually use, when I'm wacky fishing, I will use different weight hooks. Like you can get hooks that have a thicker wire, so it weighs a little bit more than the thin wire ones. And this time of year, I'll put the thinnest hook I got on, wacky rig that thing, throw it out there, and just feed it line and watch the line and let it sink and let it sink and let it sink. And when it gets to the bottom, let it lay there for quite a while before you move it. I let it lay there for 2-3 minutes, and then start to jiggle it a little bit, pick it up, and throw it back out. It really takes a lot of patience this time of year.
Wow, that's a method that I know personally. A lot of guys, Dale, no matter what time of the year, they just cannot slow down enough to fish that method.
Well, it's difficult to do, right? It's not always that fun.
No, it's not fun, but like Dale is telling you, it can be very productive.
Exactly.
You shouldn't slow.
Now, Dale, we've covered basic principles on how to approach bass, but what are the differences between your approach with a smallmouth and a largemouth?
The smallmouth right now, the perch on this lake, and this lake is the main food on this lake is perch, and the perch right now are the big ones are coming in to spawn. And that's those perch that run 1.5 pounds, almost 2 pounds, some of them, and they're coming in to spawn, and they'll move in on the flats where you normally would find the largemouth or the smallmouth spawning, and the smallmouth will follow them. They've been living with them all winter, and they'll follow them all the way in, and you get on those perch flats, and I usually put on like a Kitech in a perch color, or I'll even put it in on a chatterbait head and throw it in there, let it lay down on the bottom, and bring it back as slow as you can so that it's just staying near the bottom. So you kind of feel every now and then you bump into something, know you're keeping it down there. And boy, I'll tell you, a chatterbait with I put on a 4-inch Kitech in the, what is it called? It looks like a baby bass. It has some green and some silver flakes in it.
Right.
And I put that thing on there, and my son is a plastics engineer, and he makes up chatterbaits for me, and they're all plastic, so you can't see the actual chatterbait. You can only see the hook. Right. And you put the minnow on that thing, so now all you see is the minnow.
Right.
And we throw that thing out there, and sometimes every cast you'll have a really nice smallmouth.
Wow.
The largemouth.
Those chatterbaits.
I think we're gonna have to get to know Dale's son.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You got what you got to do is talk some really important stuff to me.
So what's your approach to the largemouth then, Dale?
The largemouth, what surprised me when I moved to Champlain was the largemouth here in the spring, they act like it's the middle of summer. They're in there running around, but they're around the concrete piers or they're around the wooden docks. And it's that they're holding to that heat. And I was always surprised that I probably catch more largemouth than I do smallmouth in the early spring like this.
Okay.
With those minnows and those tube baits.
Ah, the tube.
So basically, what I understand is largemouth you want to downsize, and quite to the contrary, smallmouth you're almost going with a big chunky bait, but really,
yes,
really
you
small.
are. Yeah, because they're chasing those perch around.
Right.
But the one common factor amongst all of this is you gotta slow. You gotta fish slow.
You gotta slow down.
Yep.
You gotta slow down.
If you're on the southern part of the lake, which that's a whole different world down there, and that's mostly largemouth down there and weed beds and all that. Well, the weed beds, of course, are all laying down, and they're just starting to perk up as the water starts to warm up. But right now they're brown and laying around on the bottom. The fish are just laying there waiting for the sun. The sun shines on them, they feel better. You get out there off of to the channels, off of those rock walls all the way down the far end, down at the Narrows. You get along there and you take a white spinner bait, 1/2 ounce, 1 full ounce, a nice big heavy old spinner bait. You throw that thing out, let it go all the way down to the bottom, and you slow roll it. Slow rolling, for those that don't know, it means you use the rod to move the spinner bait, not the reel. What I do is I swing the rod. Don't lift the rod. You want to move the rod across the surface of the water. You're in a boat, you're above it. But you want to move it parallel to the surface of the water, make a full swing, crank up the slack real quick, go back and start and pull again. But what you have to be careful is you're going to lift that spinnerbait off the bottom, and that's where you want to keep it. You want to keep it down there near the bottom. I've put on spinnerbaits already and fished them like jigs. Just lay them on the bottom and drag them and jerk them. Give the rod a good hard jerk. It pops up. We used to call it parachuting. When you drop the spinnerbait in, the blade spins above it like the blade of a helicopter.
Right.
The lure just floats down, and that's when the fish will take the thing. They seem to take the lure when the line is slack, so you really have to be paying attention. What I do is, like when I throw out a tube or even the imitation minnows or any jig that you want to use, you throw that thing out and you don't just let it fall to the bottom. You kind of hold your rod and watch the line as though you're going to put it on the bottom. You're keeping some contact between you and the lure. Always remember when you're fishing, especially this time of year, when you're fishing slow, you don't watch your hands and you don't watch the rod. You watch the lure, so you have to do that in your mind. You have to see what the lure is doing. At least you think you see what it's doing and you feel what it's doing. Always keep your mind in contact with your lure, not necessarily with the rod.
That's an interesting point. A lot of guys, as you said, are very focused on counting the reel turns and looking at the angle of the rod and everything else, and you're saying more try and stay in contact with the bait.
He's changing the technique, how we fish spinnerbaits.
Yeah,
completely.
Sure. Yeah, he's fishing like a jig almost, right?
Exactly.
Oh, interesting point. And you mentioned both ends of the lake, the north and the south end, Dale.
Right.
Do you fish each end differently, or do you fish them the same?
Oh no, they're totally different lakes. The Broads, which is the middle section, is actually a third lake. They're totally different lakes. You fish up here in the north, all kinds of jigs and fast-moving baits and all that. You're fishing mostly smallmouth. The largemouth, you get into the reeds and stuff, and you're fishing jig and pig, slow, that sort of stuff. You go down south. Down there, you don't have reeds. You have all this heavy milfoil down there. And down there, they usually fish the two big baits in the southern end of the lake is a square bill and a chatterbait.
Okay.
The chatterbaits they will fish are usually white or they're crayfish-colored browns with a little bit of red or orange on them. Mm-hmm. And they'll fish square bills, and the white perch are very, very dominant in the southern end of the lake, and in the northern end of the lake, the yellow perch are. So down in the southern end of the lake, you have these huge schools of white perch that swim around, And the largemouth tend to either follow them or they stay in their areas, and when the schools come by, they feed on them. So what you're doing is you're coming up with a white to a gray-colored square bill, and the great things about square bills that have just come out is that you throw them in, you can drag them right through a milfoil patch, and they tend not to get hooked, hung up. And if they do, square bills are usually small, and they have very small hooks, and all you do is give it a real good jerk, and it breaks loose from the milfoil, and you keep going.
Okay.
Up at the northern end of the lake, of course, we're fishing for the smallies up here, and everything's a little faster and whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said that there are no smallmouth up in the southern end of the lake. Up near
that would
river.
be down on the southern end.
Down, sorry, yeah. How do you feel? What do you feel about that? Is there a good smallmouth population down south?
Yeah, but it's very concentrated. You have to fish there's when you come out of Ticonderoga, usually where everybody launches, and you head south. You hit those big wide areas there, Thunder Bay and that area, and you have to fish the cliffs. There's not very many smallmouth, but they're there, and they're usually feeding during the summer. They're feeding on the largemouth fry. There's a period of time when the fry come out of the rivers because the largemouth go into the different little creeks and so forth around, and the fry starts to come out, and you put on anything that's white, even a white tube, and throw it out there and just jerk it around. I jerk it, work it hard, splashing around on the surface, just under the surface. You can catch fish all day long, and they're all 2-pounders.
Really?
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Interesting.
That is interesting, and if you think about it, that's an aggressive bite, right? It's an aggressive fish pattern.
Even if you're catching 2-pounders, when you have an aggressive bite like that,
well, you're catching them all day. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a blast.
Right.
Down there, another great lure that I use, and it's usually early in the morning, but you can use it late in the afternoon too, is just a popper. I like a chrome one. I buy those. I go to Jan's Netcraft, and you buy them. You can buy all the parts, and you put them together. You end up making a popper for about $1.25, $1.50. Mm-hmm. So you don't mind for a northern comes along and eats it. It's no big deal.
Right.
And you put one of those poppers on, you can catch fish up to 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. And then usually in the afternoons when the sun starts to get down near the tops of the mountains, then you start hitting them again with just a popper. Because it's those white perch, the white perch school and splash and crash and carry on, and that's all you're imitating.
Well, there you go. This time of the year, Dale, for guys that are looking at going down to Champlain, because our season is closed here, obviously, and they're thinking of going down and fishing in the spring. I'm not gonna online gonna bug you for looking for spots.
No.
But
on the show, with the last show, we tried to get Dale to give us spots.
Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work. So we're not gonna try again. We're gonna try.
We can't fool this guy.
I think we're gonna have to go to his son.
My mama didn't raise no fool.
So we're gonna ask you, for the guys that are going down there, what should they be looking for as far as structure goes? How do the bass position themselves this time of the year on that lake? Where should they start to look, I guess, is the question.
Well, if you get down to the actual fish setting in the water, this time of year, strange as it may seem, they keep their tail pointed at the sun, because when their gills open and close, they absorb heat through their gills, through the back. When the gill opens up, the sun shines in there for that little moment, and that actually picks up some extra temperature for them. So they tend to face one direction in the morning and the other direction in the afternoon. And once again, you're looking for those rock ledges. The rock piles are hard to find unless you have my GPS. And
where exactly because there, Dale?
Yeah, we got to walk through a hedge to get to Dale's house from Rick Perry's house.
I think you and I are going to make a midnight run over to Dale's house.
You know, Dale, I think we can get the wife to keep you out somewhere overnight.
Yeah, I've had a few guys tell me that for years now. We're going to sneak up there and we're going to take your GPS off your boat because it's got all those icons and waypoints on it.
That's
but
right.
It's true. I mean, if you know the new Lowrances and the Hummingbirds with the side imaging units are just such a boon to the fishermen who want to find the rock piles, because on a very calm day, a nice, calm, sunny day, I don't even go fishing. I take my boat, I go out there, and I just puddle around with the electric motor or idle around out in the deep water and with that side imaging unit, and I'm looking for rocks. And sometimes I'm actually looking for just one or two rocks setting together, or three rocks setting together. Each one of those rocks will have a smallmouth sitting on it who lives there all year round. And I mark all those spots, and then you go out. If you read the very beginning of my book, it talks about how the glacier cut out Champlain.
For that.
When it came down through, it was like a giant bulldozer. It was just moving along, crunching and scouring out the cliffs and everything else and mowing down the mountains. And it cut this big groove down here we call Champlain. Well, when the glacier finally stopped, and they say then it receded, the glacier really doesn't recede. It just melts. It starts to melt right on the very front edge, and it melts its way all the way back up north. Well, any rocks or whatever that were piled up as it was coming down suddenly now just fall straight down to the bottom.
Right.
So if you sit there and you look at Champlain, the map of Champlain, and envision the glacier coming down through, you'll find that there are points like Holiday Point. That Holiday Point goes on. I mean, if you're fishing it, it goes out there, maybe a quarter of a mile. In reality, that thing goes about 5 miles.
Right.
It goes on and on and on. And a lot of the different points that are southern pointing points actually will have extensions. If you keep going and looking, you get down several miles away from that point and you'll find these rock piles, which was what was originally that point. The glacier just dug it up and moved it out and dropped it when it melted.
Wow.
Have you found also with time that the positioning of some of the shallower rocks and flats change from year to year, or from, over long periods of time? Do they move around still, or is it pretty much locked in?
The very shallows, I'd say, when you're talking less than 10 feet, usually that 5-8 foot at the most, those rocks, because of the pounding waves, will actually move. A great example of that, you don't see it so much here on Champlain, but if you go over to Winnipesaukee over in New Hampshire is a white sand bottom, and the dead leaves, of course, fall down and the bottom is brown. You don't see the white sand, but if you sit there and you look sometimes, you can see like a trail. It looks like a little bulldozer went along and cut, move the whole bottom and push the leaves away, and you can see these long trails, and you follow the trail, and at the end of the trail, that's the boulder that's been moving over the years. And during the winter, the ice, right out here in front of my house, I have all kinds of rocks there. We can go down and we can, with a lot of effort, move around a lot of these rocks and pile them up, and the next year, that pile we made is someplace else, and there's a whole bunch of new rocks there.
Really?
Wow, that shows you the top of the ice, right?
Yeah.
The ice and the waves all summer long pounding against them. It's amazing how they move those big rocks around.
Dale, Scott and I are just starting to pull out boats and get things ready and starting to check gear and everything else to start planning our trips down there to see you and fish that lake. It's Friday night. I know you've got family around, and we do appreciate the fact that you've taken the time to talk to us tonight on the show again, as you did last year. And of course, I guess, give us the privilege of having the opportunity to read your book. And before I let you go, I'd like you to let everybody know, where can they get a copy of Bass Fishing 101?
Well, you guys know where Heroes Welcome is at. That's the nice restaurant that has all the donuts and stuff. They sell them there, but they also have a website. Heroes Welcome has its own website, heroeswelcome.com. And you can go on there and you'll find my book listed there, and you can buy it from them, and they'll mail it to you. You can pay for it with your credit card. And the other place is Northern Bass Supply. I don't know if you guys buy stuff from Sandy over at Northern Bass Supply, but she has a wonderful catalog, and her catalog is really made for the Northeast here. She sells some lures that you can't buy in the rest of the country because they work here.
Okay.
She actually has lures that are made specifically for her, because they're like the Golden Spook, works over on Winnipesaukee and Squam.
Right.
So because they have all the golden shiners over there. And so she has a lot of lures. And go to northernbasssupply.com.
Okay.
Or
that's great.
heroeswelcome.com.
heroeswelcome.com or northernbasssupply.com.
Well, yep.
And pick yourself up a copy of Bass Fishing 101.
Lake Champlain.
Yeah, done by...
It's basically a Dale Brown story.
Yeah, it's essentially it's the fishing chronicles of Mr. Dale Brown over all these years on Lake Champlain. And believe me, he pulls no punches in this book, people. When I tell you his book,
all there.
It is all out there. Dale puts it all out there. There are no holds barred.
If you want a copy of his GPS, buy the book.
Yeah, buy the book, and Dale might send you a privileged private copy of all his waypoints.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. My people have asked me to write the second book, which is 201, which has all the GPS marks in it, and I have written most of that book. But the deal is that book doesn't get published till I die.
That's no good. That's no good. That's no good. All right. Well, Dale, listen, on behalf of all the listeners on the podcast, on Mike and Scott's BS session, I want to thank you for showing up tonight and sharing your experiences with us. Also, letting people know about, this is a great book. I've read it, I think, 3 times so far, and Scott's read it also. Yeah. Bass Fishing 101, Lake Champlain, with Mr. Dale D. Brown. And I have an autographed copy, as does Scott, that we got at the ramp.
Yes, we did.
On Lake Champlain from Mr. Dale Brown himself. Dale, thank you very much. Thank you to your family and everybody else for letting us bore you tonight. And we will see you on that body of water in a few weeks.
Okay, I'll be out there.
All right. You take care. And by the way, everybody, Dale also runs a Bass Cat. You can't miss his.
You betcha. You betcha. That sucker is a beauty too, boy.
Oh, it is. It definitely is. Take care, Dale. We'll be talking to you soon. Tight line.
Nice talking to you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Take care, Dale.
Bye.
There you go.
Well, let me say that this show was probably one of the most informative shows on Lake Champlain that we've ever had.
Yeah, he's the guy, right? He's the guy.
And the information he's given us is priceless.
Sure. Oh, for sure.
When it comes to fishing the spring, if you take just what he said and apply it to one outing,
you're going to catch fish.
You're going to catch fish.
Yeah, you're going to catch fish. We know because we've done it.
Yeah. So we're going to listen to the show, you and I, again.
Yeah.
And we're deleting the show.
And then we're going to... No, I wouldn't delete the show.
Well,
people are going to be PO'd if we delete the show.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll leave it on.
We'll leave it on. But we're going to do exactly what he said.
We are. I'm going to follow it to the T.
And I can tell you now, we've done it before, it works.
And I can tell you now, I'm going to...
read the book again.
Well, the book I know it off by heart, but I'm going to, what was it, Northern?
I'm not telling you.
I'm going to listen to the show.
It was northernpike.ca.
Yeah, northernpike.ca.
Yeah, it's northern.ca. Northerntranscanada.ca.
Okay.
That's
and I'm going to get myself some of them Kitech jigs.
Well, for sure. For sure. There's no doubt. The guy's a great guy. Dale is a great person. And obviously his knowledge of Lake Champlain is very, very, very extensive. So a lot of great information there, and I'm looking forward to seeing him again this spring. And we go down there to bend some rods.
Yes, sir.
Bend some rods.
Bend
Pull
some
up your thingamajig
What
again.
am I pulling up here?
You're pulling up your agenda. There you go.
Okay, here we go.
Tonight's shout-outs go out to Jill Johnson and Cynthia Béchette. And, of course, Pierre.
And you know what? From Evinrude. And
yes.
We got to talk about something real quickly. We have another Pierre. There's two Pierres.
There are two Pierre?
Well, there's a mechanic Pierre.
Oh, yes. Our thoughts go out to good friend Pierre, who is the head mechanic at Maple Grove Marine. Pierre got some bad news that involves the C word recently, and he's going through some surgery
right now.
He's going
really? I think as we speak.
Tonight?
I don't know if it's tonight. I knew it was at the end of this week.
End of this week?
So it could have been today, tomorrow.
Our prayers and good wishes are out to Pierre and his family. Hopefully this will be a recovery, and he'll make his way through this challenge. A better person you will not meet. Great-hearted guy and a superb Evinrude mechanic, and we wish nothing but the best for Pierre and his family.
The most knowledgeable and probably the best mechanic I know for.
He's one of the best I've ever met for E-Tech. The guy's a machine, but just an all-around great person, irrespective of the mechanical part. He's just a great guy. So our prayers go out to Pierre and his family at this time, and hopefully it'll be a good recovery and a quick recovery.
Absolutely.
Steve, the boss man, Bosley from Basscat. Timber.
Well, he's recovered from his spill and the destruction of the motel. And
it was him?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, no. Are you serious?
Yeah. Apparently the lawsuits all been settled already.
If the glove don't fit, you got to quit.
Exactly.
Steve, the toilet don't fit. I don't know, something like that.
Something like the shower curtain.
So, shower curtain.
But he has recovered from it, so he's good. And
so he's out on bail.
He's out on bail.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's terrific.
He's not allowed into Canada anymore. But
that's all right. We'll go see him.
Yeah, we'll go see him.
That's it. And the St. Lawrence River Institute. See you on the 15th, Brian, and everybody down there. Lise Mignon. We're looking forward. Whoops, telephone call.
Well,
not answering that one.
Pause.
It's on pause, and we're looking forward to meeting up with Lise and the team down at the St. Lawrence River Institute on the 15th.
Rochelle Chouinard of
Navionics and the Platinum Plus people.
Yes, sir. It's here. It's available.
It's here now. So, go see Navionics on Facebook. Go see Navionics at navionics.com. Go see Navionics, period, right?
And go to Mike and Scott's BS session.
That's right.
On Facebook.
And register, it, because we're giving away the Navionics
app.
iPhone app.
So I also wanted to give a little shout-out to Loic for putting together these sick banners that he's been doing.
Yeah, crazy banners. He does great banners for the show.
He does great work on the website
also. He does incredible work on the website, and I think by the time Loic is done, I think the Grammys or someone's going to hire him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's just too busy dancing around in poles.
Exactly. He's having too much fun with his power poles.
Loic, the pole dancer.
Oh, boy.
Ooh.
What color are his poles?
Black.
Black. Okay.
Black poles. He dances around.
Like black poles.
Yeah, and he dances around them in his thong, he said.
That's just a nasty
and the wife caught him.
That's not good.
No, that's not good.
That'll ruin a reputation.
You know the splits against the pole thing? He can do that. He says he does it.
Holy man.
Yeah. I don't know.
That scarred my.
Visual. You're not going to sleep tonight.
No, my
bear is shivering.
I am forever, going to have a new opinion of Loic.
Yeah. Well, it's maybe his name's Lulu. Lulu Loic.
Maybe he should open a sideline business.
Well, maybe. Some people have other talents, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So
anybody who can do the splits up and down a power pole.
You've got
has some hidden talent.
You've got your calling in life. Sponsor recognition night. Fish and Tech. Gary Gossarin for all your bass boat needs. New authorized service center for bass boats here in Quebec. And congratulations to Gary and the team at Fish and Tech. They do great work. You're not going to be disappointed if you bring your bass cat there. Goldwing Auto Care, Mr. Guard, and the boys. Summer tires, rims, and truck bling. Go see our boys at Goldwing Auto Care.
K-Way Outdoor Wear. Get protection from the elements while not taking up too much space in your boat.
Yep.
And Sims Baits. The baits
of glory.
Those are the ones.
Those are the ones, my friend. I'm going to put in my order, I think, this week. I got to order some of that stuff.
Yeah. Navionics, make sure you get back on both land and water.
Yeah, you did that very good.
Thank you very much.
You didn't get mixed up.
No, I didn't.
Water, land, water.
Why? Who? Where?
When? Yeah.
Why?
No, Navionics are definitely there. And again, I'm going to give it another plug. Platinum Plus. Go look at them. It's sick. Sick. That's all I have to say. Power pole. Nothing holds your boat stronger than the power pole anchors. Hydraulics versus mechanics.
It's simple.
You do the math.
Yep. Mustang Survival. Great news coming out of Mustang Camp this week from Shannon.
Yep. Safariland has acquired Mustang, and Safariland has said that they are going to maintain the stability and continue the Mustang tradition as being the benchmark of the industry. So get yourself a Mustang Survival. We'll have some Mustang Survival prizing this year at the Ripples.
I see that, and I saw your new Mustang vest came in, which means my Mustang vest came in.
It's got to be not far behind. It's coming in shipments.
Really?
Yeah, I'm getting
They didn't come in together?
No, everything's piecemeal.
Oh, okay.
It's all piecemeal.
All right.
Yeah, it's all piecemeal.
Okay, so be it.
Yeah, and the show.
Yeah.
We're available where?
On iTunes,
the
in the podcast section.
Yes.
Stitcher Smart Radio mobile app.
And
blogtalkradio.com. We're supposed to use that tone for WRVO.
Network located at RenoViolaOutdoors.com.
Yeah. Hook us up on fishingcanada.net or on our Facebook page.
Yes.
BS Session.
The BS Session. And what does BS stand for?
We're not allowed to say those words online. I'm trying to refrain from using foul language.
Oh. Who said
Well, you can say it.
The Big Salmon.
The Big Salmon, the Big Salmon section. I don't think we've ever had a salmon show, but that's okay.
But we've had a salmon sandwich.
Yes, we have.
Yes, we have. All right, guys, we're done for this week. We're going to be back next week, and as we get closer to getting on the water, we're going to be recording some part of the shows on the water.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Let's see how that works.
That's going to be interesting, to say the least.
Yep.
Because we've got some shows where there's going to be a lot of beeps. What the beep? What are you doing with the beep? Beep.
Where'd Mike go?
Yeah, beep. We're going to have a lot of fun, so stay tuned. Keep subscribing to the show. We love having you guys download this thing. Everybody's, the listeners are just going up and up and up. So obviously, I guess we're doing something right, but we're having a lot of fun doing this.
So, yep. Thanks for listening to the show.
Yeah, and we will see you next week on Mike and Scott's
BS Session.
BS Session.
Who's on the show next week? Is it all scheduled up yet?
We've got actually.
Is it confirmed?
Our sponsor interviews confirmed. We will have Jim Van Ryn from the Rod Club, my friend,
awesome.
And we may have a guest. We'll see. We're waiting for.
We have a guest.
We're waiting for I guess a confirmation out of that.
We'll see.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. All right, everybody. We will see you next week. Tight lines. We're out of here.
Got my power pole down.
At Power Pole, we know that sport fishing requires the ability to stop your boat and work an area quickly and quietly. Nothing stops your boat faster, safer, or quieter than Power Pole anchors. Our hydraulic technology delivers superior anchoring. The unbelievably fast action means you can stop as soon as you see a fish and hook one without any concern for stress on your transom, even in heavy wind and current. The only stress you'll feel will be on the other end of your line. Power Pole, rugged flexibility that will change the way you fish. This one's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can subscribe on iTunes, the WRVO Network, Spreaker.com, www.blogtalkradio.com, and www.fishin-canada.net. See you next time for another BS session.